Hi, I'm Jim Gordon, and you're watching Market 1 Minute. Joining us is Jonathan Summers. He is the CEO and chairman of EXMceuticals. Jonathan, welcome.
Jim, thank you very much for having me on.
You're quite welcome. Tell us about the company and what you guys do.
EXMceuticals is a bioscience company. We have a fully staffed, licensed, and operational R&D lab in the middle of Lisbon in Portugal, and we are building an industrial-scale cannabis refinery about half an hour south of the city.
And why did the company choose Portugal as its base of operations?
I think Portugal is a fantastic country to do this. There's going to be a lot of people growing cannabis there. Up to 100 people have asked for a license. The climate is very conducive. There's a clear legal code for what you can and cannot do in cannabis. And most importantly, it's a core part of Europe, which gives you a market of 750 million people.
And what does an R&D license mean for the business?
Really, what it's meant is it's proven to the Portuguese government and also to the European development funds that we're serious about doing this. We've put a decent capital investment into this and obviously operational expenses on a monthly basis for over a year now. They know who we are, they trust us. They trust us inside Lisbon to be dealing with what is still a controlled substance. And now they are welcoming us and asking us to scale this up to a much more significant commercial and industrial scale.
And Jonathan, what services are EXM offering and what products do you have for the B2B market?
So obviously we're operating out of the lab in the middle of Lisbon. In there, we can work with other people in cannabis. We can provide testing services. We can let them know what their seeds are going to turn into. We can let them know what they're growing. So we have a number of scientific partnerships in place there. We are also doing a lot of other research on our own behalf in terms of some of it into pandemic-related issues funded by the European Union. We have grant applications out for food, beverages, cosmeceuticals, and how cannabinoids can be part of that. But obviously, until we have the commercial refinery operational in Q3, Q4 this year, we can't be offering cannabinoid ingredients on a commercial basis. Once we have the commercial refinery in operation, we will be able to do everything to transform cannabinoids. So we will do everything from the basic extraction, and then we will have all the equipment in there to do purification and refining. And if needed by customers, take everything right the way through to 99.5% pure cannabinoids, APIs, etc. So really take in the plant, and at the other end will come out finished products.
Does EXM have any significant revenue on the horizon? And what are some of the company's next milestones?
The company will not achieve significant commercial revenues until it has the commercial facility operational and licensed. We have a number of outline agreements in place for people who want to team up with us and purchase the material that will come out of the refinery. The key selling point here is this is all designed to be EU GMP, which really is the gold standard of the manufacturing guidelines and practice, and is the standard that's going to be required in Europe to operate in cannabinoids. Obviously, this year has involved a number of delays, mainly related to the pandemic, but we have been making a lot of progress. We've obviously had to operate the lab, and that's been an ongoing process for the last year. And now we are looking specifically at the scale-up. We've been in discussions with the Portuguese authorities for most of the last 6 months, and these discussions are pretty much finalized now. They've been revolving around, firstly, in terms of getting bank support for this project, in terms of providing the majority of the funding. And I think we're almost there in terms of having one, if not two, term sheets from a Portuguese bank to enable us to build the refinery. We've also had a number of meetings with the Portuguese government and the industrial agencies there about getting significant state grant support for this, which could amount to between 30 and 40% of the cost of the project. So really, the last few months have been putting together this financial package so that the burden on the EXM shareholders is less in terms of the quantum of funds required, and also simply to make that an even better investment because, frankly, we're only funding a minority of the project. We have 2 MOUs in place with North American cannabis companies, both of which are looking to build operations in Europe, particularly in Portugal, focusing on the cultivation side, and indeed one of them received their pre-license very recently. And with those cultivation facilities coming online at significant scale, in amongst a number of other license applications as well. But with those relationships on the cultivation side, we would hope to be the transformation partner for that in order to turn that into finished products to be sold around the EU, which again, as I say, is 750 million people.
And finally, tell us why you think it's time to invest in EXM.
I think we're on the verge of very exciting and very rapid developments. I think the market in Europe is about to really start speeding up. Canada was the pioneer here. In 2001, Canada started working towards medical cannabis. Over the last 2 decades, this has gradually expanded primarily in Canada, but into the US, where you're seeing a huge market growth now, both in recreational and in medical. And really, Europe is the next prize and will be the next wave. It's a huge market, lots of people. It's going to require EU GMP certification. It's going to start with the medical and then work out from there gradually. But all of the potential estimates for the market size are genuinely enormous in a few years' time. And I think EXM can be one of the people to really capture that, because I think we're building from the best principles to start with. So extraction, purification, refining, B2B and science. And I think we've got a huge market opportunity.
Thanks for joining us, Jonathan. Hi, I'm Jim Gordon. Thanks for watching this Market 1 Minute on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with other videos that we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click on this list to see other great videos from Market 1. And thank you again for watching.